Token Game Tavern is located in Knoxville, Tennessee, also known as the cradle of country music. But you won't find Dolly Parton here. Instead, you'll find a sprawling love letter to retro gaming and a diverse fighting game scene. This venue is not only an arcade, but it is also a fully stocked dive bar, a barcade, if you will. Inside, you'll find that it has just a little bit of everything. Arcade cabinets, a ton of pinball rigs, old school system setups, and even modern games like Killer Queen and Pump It Up. All while still using tokens to play their games just like back in the day. The tabletop community also comes to show out, offering every genre of games while serving food and alcohol. What is there not to love about this place? Before we get into the brackets, let's introduce some of the folks who run the fighting games here. ScruffyCityFGC.
How long has Token Throwdown been in operation?
Token Throwdown has been in operation since late 2018. We started in December of that year. We did the full year of that. So it's been about, with the exception of during the pandemic and that, have been mostly operating in some form during that time. We've had other things. We did some online events during the pandemic. We've done other things at other places here, but this has been our home. This is our headquarters.
So I've been involved with Token Throwdown since about late 22, officially in 2023. And my role here is kind of TO, which is setup, breakdown, so a little bit of everything.
From the TOs that I interview, there's a lot of different reasons for becoming a TO. And, sometimes it's just by chance, sometimes it's just something you're just thrown into. Tell me, how did you become a tournament organizer?
So it's a little bit of that thrown into, fell back into. I started way back when in the Smash Melee scene, grew up with all that. Eventually I kind of fell out of that, was looking for a place. I ended up at a game store. They're not the most recent one, but the one before that, where they were hosting fighting games in the back room. So I ended up going into those, made friends with Peyton, or GD, I should say. And kind of just fell back into running games around here. I was kind of tagging along to other events they were doing before they're like, you're basically a TO, here's the role. And I'm like, cool. So, like you said, fell back into kind of old habits, sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's doing things like this, because originally I'm just a player. So coming in and doing this thing for Locals Unknown, I get to see a lot more from a different perspective, what goes on behind the scenes and what you guys go through. So I admire everything that you guys do so much, because when you're a player, you just kind of come in here and you're just okay, I just wait for my name to be called, I play in bracket, wait around for my next match. It's just you don't see everything, that goes on.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we just want to make it as easy for people who are players, come in and just generally play. We've had pads that we loan out, we have sticks that people can use. We just try and make it as easy for people to get into fighting games, because there's always that big, roadblock in the way of finding people to play with, all that sort of stuff, finding a place to play, and we just want to make sure we can provide that to people.
My name's GD, at least that's my tag. My name's Peyton, but super happy to be here, and thanks so much for coming out for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. It's good to see you here. I'm glad to be back. So tell me, how long have you been involved with your role here?
So with Scruffy City in Knoxville, Tennessee, I guess I reached out to the original TOs that were here in the middle of the pandemic, because that's when I had moved down in 2020, and then it wasn't exactly the best idea to start doing things in person again until around 2022. So, but immediately, as soon as we were able to be back in person, I was there. So it's been a couple years now, and before that, I was helping run some locals in the North Carolina scene in the RDU. I used to go to Lost Ark Arcade all the time. Super huge in the Third Strike, and that's where I got started. So that's kind of the roots, and then what brought me here, I suppose.
I definitely need to check out RDU since you bring it up, because I'm pretty close-knit with the Greensboro Tekken community. They bring up RDU a lot. Is there any information that we can give to the viewers about RDU?
You know, I mean, I've lived in Tennessee now since 2020, so things have probably changed a lot since then. I mean, Greensboro's always been strong, just in terms of the games they play and just the nicest people you could ever meet. Super, super welcoming people. So RDU was kind of just getting restarted when I was helping do some of the locals out there. And then when I had left during the pandemic, I mean, everything kind of stopped. So I'm not sure how it's been in the RDU since then. But Greensboro will always find a way, all the time.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to cover RDU for next season.
Yeah.
Either that or I could just do a quick, like, you know, while I'm playing, just a quick, you know, community shout out or something like that. So tell me, becoming a tournament organizer, was it just something that happened by accident, or is it something you just kind of like monitored and been like, okay, I really want to help out? Like, how did it become for you?
So, I mean, I definitely started as a player, right? Technically speaking, I mean, if you want to go way back, my first fighting game was like Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. But I didn't really get into fighting games like going out and competing until Skullgirls, which is a weird one because I don't play that at all anymore, right? But that kind of brought me out to a local scene. And then I was in North Carolina at the time when I started getting into it. So I just immediately found Third Strike being in that, you know, nearby vicinity of Greensboro area. I was already super into restoring old vintage arcade machines. So of course that brought me to Lost Ark and I found Third Strike. I started as a player.
So tell me, what is the relationship like with the venue then?
We talk a lot with, right now the community manager is Brenton. In the past we've worked with another one, Bobby, who was originally the first one to get us into like doing the extra live stuff. We have a thing here, Token Throwdown, where $1 of every entry goes into extra life to support local children's hospitals in the East Tennessee area. That kind of got us into talking with them and kind of going back and forth. They have other events happening here. This is not just for fighting games. We have plenty of pinball. They have pinball events happening here weekly. At that, I'm literally looking over on the edge here. We have a scoreboard for the current pinball scores that I'm never going to accomplish on there. I'm no good at pinball. I like the Godzilla pinball game. That's about it. But and just like kind of working with them and finding that right time. In the case of Token, it turned out Sunday was a mostly lower traffic day that we could kind of work. For them, they're just interested in like getting people through the venue and being able to like order food, to have drink, have a good time, and all that. And we were giving them the opportunity. And it turned out to be fortunate that people came in through, they liked the venue well enough, and they were able to continue on that.
They offer a fully supported stream setup to bring exposure to its players, commentary opportunities for talent to start out or perfect their craft, and branded merchandise including art, pins, and gaming equipment. By the way, what's with that golden disco ball that is plastered all over their branding? That would be the Sun Sphere. Standing at over 266 feet tall, it is the symbol of Knoxville and it is open to the public. Inside, there is a gift shop and an observation deck where you can see the entire city, including the Smoky Mountains. To pair with the full-service bar, you'll find that there's some pretty good eats as well. Token works alongside Bitburger. While at the venue, you can order your food with the comfort of not having to go anywhere. They hand deliver it to you and your bartender can hook you up with any condiments that you may need. Inside Bitburger, you get an extreme 80s wave throwback in here, complete with a ton of movie, game, and art memorabilia. You got that, McFly? While you eat, you can enjoy 90s cartoons. Seems pretty gnarly to me. The menu features video game themed burgers and shakes. My personal favorite is the Kong burger. Soul played it safe with tenders, waffle fries, and washed it down with an amaretto sour. With that, let's move on to what we're all here for.
Risky Sweep out here playing Toho. Ooh! Step back, the flick. Ooh! That was gross.
Well, you want this kind of pressure. Oh. Okay, that does a lot of that. Oh.
How did you discover Token Throwdown?
I just discovered Token Throwdown when John first started them. I was going to the events that were happening before that. Like, we had a piece of events at like the downtown brewery, and then that kind of turned into this later.
We're here now at Token. It's great vibes. So tell me, what would be your favorite memory here thus far?
That's hard. I think my favorite memory might be, it was like the first bracket of Under Night for Uniclear. That was like right before the pandemic. And we had a grand finals. It was between like Big Bear, is like, you know, the hometown hero, versus like Scout from Chattanooga, and it was like it was just a great match. It was a great tournament, and it was like the release of Under Night of Uniclear. That was like, it was just like, I don't know, probably my favorite Token event I've been to. I think so.
A little birdie told me that you developed a game.
It's Slam Bam Arena. It's just kind of like enemy fighter inspired game. Definitely very inspired by like Under Night, Arcana Heart. A little bit of like CVS2, like kind of has like a groove system. It's just like a little project I've been doing for like several years now. And we run brackets for it occasionally, like every few years.
Gotcha. And from what I understand, Risky Sweep is actually in the game, John Hurst himself.
Yeah, he's the newest character in the game. I added him on like April Fools a couple years ago, and then like I ended up just actually fleshing him out into a character, and actually I think he might be the best character in the game right now. He's pretty good.
And this is kind of one thing I've noticed, like with characters like the show those from Swept, will like kind of tend to play the long range game. They actually got the third hit on the level 3 on their afterwards. Immediate knowledge into the level R in Burnout, and you're going to get chipped away with this plus frames. Goes the block. This is it. This is all you need. Can you finish it off with one? I don't think you can. Can you finish it with one bar? Can you do this? The handshake has said yes.
Oh, the headphones
Does the game say yes? It does.
Wow, the math is...
I'm Zombie 13, and I've been competing here for about a year and a half.
How did you discover Token Throwdown?
So I was I was out of fighting games completely, actually, until Street Fighter 6 came out. And so I was just looking at things that were nearby to me, and this is 2 hours out for me, but that's the closest to me. So I started coming out here to the monthlies in August of 2023.
Gotcha. So it's been a couple years now. Tell me, what would your favorite memory be here thus far?
Honestly, it's probably, there's another player here that I have like a rivalry with, so the sets with her are probably the biggest memories that I have at this location. The last time I was here, actually, there was, I took a loss very early on in the bracket and had to make a really big losers run, and then I made it to grand finals against her, and was able to reset on stream, and like it was a very, very close, like down to the last interaction type of set the whole way. I lost, of course, but it was very, very memorable.
Yeah, sometimes getting that reset though, it still is able to put them in the losers bracket. So at least you can still say, well, I did technically, technically I beat them, technically. But that always feels good to know that you got that fight in you. You know what I mean?
Soul making the call with that like chest out though, keeping the armor up, keeping space. Already gotten chicken wing against the wall. I didn't know King could move that fast. Flip kicks. Keeping that back turn up. Getting low. Yeah. Alright. The jumping kick takes it. I love this stage.
Here we go, yeah. Catching on that with the float, but there we go. We're spinning to winning. That's it. That's it. That is it. That was clean. 3-0.
Kenobi clean 3-0, knocking chicken wing down to...
I've always been really involved with the Knoxville scene, just playing in the locals ever since ScruffyCityFGC was developed back in the day. Actually, I got my start back in the arcades. Old Aladdin's Castle at East Town Mall, playing with Trungy and Geo and all those guys. So I've always been part of the Tekken scene. So having a place like this to play local tournaments has really been insightful and great for just the community as a whole.
How did you discover Token Throwdown?
Yeah, I discovered Token Throwdown. I would say it was probably toward the latter of the 2010 decade, past 2015 or so. We needed a new venue. We had a local, smaller venue near the Tennessee campus, but then over time we had found that Token was here and our TOs had worked with them to have a monthly. And so it's been a consistent basis since, let's say, 2015 and onward. So it's been a really good thing, and it's brought new people in here, and we're very excited for that.
Yeah, and that's a pretty long time running, and they still run stuff at Eastern Tennessee State University, right?
I know they have a convention called ETS UConn, and they have tournaments there, and I think they do have every now and then like tournaments there.
Oh, come downtown. Chun-Li's got the blade for you to get all the way into the corner here, MOV style.
I love a good round start buffer. It's just such a call out. Fedora Duck, you're insane. Where's Millie going? Breaking through that armor.
Putting down, breaking some ankles on the follow-up here. Breaking the giant swing here, tries to go in, and I like, you know what, I honestly like waiting and doing nothing. The heat smash, though, does connect. Last opportunity, potentially. Lo and behold, a 2-1 in Soul Naciente's favor.
Everything you see is a culmination of what makes the Knoxville FGC stand out amongst other scenes. These players don't just play one game, they play several throughout the tournament, and it's a testament to how much they love not only fighting games, but gaming as a whole. The venue itself is a celebration of all forms of games played by people from all walks of life, everything culminating into this, the ScruffyCityFGC. They have even brought out several veterans who aren't afraid to take newcomers under their wing and grow them into prominent members of the community.
In the many years of Token Throwdown, what would be your favorite memory thus far?
Favorite memory was we used to do these 2v2 team tournaments, and I was teamed up with a budding new player by the name of 7 String Syndicate. And he was brand new to Tekken and got his start in Tekken 7 playing Noctis. He teamed up with me. I was able to coach him through as a new player, and we ended up winning that tournament in the 2v2. And that kind of set him on a big trajectory to where he is now. He's become a streamer, and he's got a fight club that he runs every Friday, and he's really passionate about the game, and it's really proud for me to see him on his journey and knowing where he came from.
There was a time where one of our strongest players from Middle Tennessee State, mostly Nashville area, his name was Fusion. He was on fire with Chloe those couple of years, and he came here and he was on a tear. He beat a lot of our strongest players, and then I had to face him. I didn't know what to expect from it, from the Lucky Chloe back then, Tekken 7, but I was able to handle the matchup really well, and to many people it was like a shocking win, but an incredible player. But it was a huge moment where I was able to get a good win there. So one of my favorite moments there was winning that.
Game. I don't know why it was originally called Butt. Maybe it was a translation thing. I don't know. But welcome back, Butt. Big 2025.
Yeah, I just assumed it was like a Final Fantasy
Ooh!
dump drag.
Just dumping damage. 12 hits.
Overhead and to sweep. Okay.
Otaru never saw it coming. The butt of death.
What advice would you give to people thinking about becoming TOs? What kind of advice would you give to them?
I would say do what you can within your reason in there. You don't have to throw everything into making this like it doesn't have to be the biggest, best event the first time. My first event was in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where I had 2 people show up for it. Only 2. One of them is Kanme here, like who showed up for today. The other one was Seth Series, prominent Grand Blue Fantasy Versus player in the vanilla days and all that. And we just played casuals and all that. And I was a little down at that first part, but it was just like you can only go up from there. You can always like see like what else can you do from there. But also you don't want to burn out on this. And it's easy to do. If you love seeing fighting game events happen, you love seeing anything happen, honestly, and you want to put your all into it, you might find yourself like, oh, I'm doing too many events a week. You don't have to do a weekly event. You don't have to do a monthly event. Do the event you want to do, and just like go from there. And if people like it and people want more, that's great. And you can work within the reason, but don't burn yourself out over this. Like you are the most important person to make that happen.
Zombie Gun's waiting to get that burn out here. The touch under the low. Doesn't get the version. You're in burnout. You're not getting that chip anymore. Oh, the EX!
Wow, and we find our reset either way. It's roughly like 7, right?
Something like that.
It's not a lot.
When life gives you lemons, you throw
the fuck out of them.
Get out of my face with those lemons. DP to get out of the situation. The dry brush into low. Holly has not been doing that option a lot. Has been going for the overhead quite a bit instead. Catching on that Izuna drop. You're going to get a free combo.
Excellent. There's the
Second place, Arca official Holly. And in first place, Zombie Guns.
Why do you do it? Why do you TO?
Personally, I like the whole energy that fighting games bring. I've never been good myself because platform fighter, I'm still trying to learn not to jump all the time in fighting games. That is my worst habit. But I love the energy that it brings. I like the community around it too. Like, you can punch each other in the face and still grab a drink over there at the bar. Like, it's great.
I was mentioning before, this was because I had moved to Tennessee a few years back. It was like right after COVID, basically, and they started lifting the restrictions. This was actually one of the first venues that I came to that actually had a bar. And trust me when I tell you, I took full advantage of that bar to get like a little socially comfortable. Because sometimes it is kind of scary being a new person in the scene, whether you're a new player or even veteran player. To come across a new scene, because my scene was always DMV. So it was kind of nice to come in here and just be like, oh God, like in bracket I'm in my zone, right? But like meeting new people is sometimes like, especially if like you're an introvert. So it's just like, okay, give me an amaretto sour right now.
Boy in the corner. Thrown around the fish.
The Orca's back!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we found it. We found it a little bit. 3-1 Risky Sweep. Risky Sweep taking that last one with a perfect.
That goes against Jack, actually.
So chicken wings just like flavor and characters, people who can just stay low.
Yeah, you know what his favorite song? Get low.
But that's the only lyric he knows.
Yeah, that exactly is get low, 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 low. And here we go, Justice to the Sky, DPTF2. one. Oh, that means one more set on Kenobi's side. The question is, can Chicken Wing turn things around? Can we go into a reset?
Not sure what he said, but Ethan had something to say after that.
Get a follow up here. Turn it over. Make sure both sides of the Sabina are well done.
Well tenderized.
Well tenderized. Sabina didn't like that very much. Chicken Wing, one last opportunity. Does have access to Rage Art on here.
Ooh,
Not anymore. That is going to be it. As Kenobi, let me get the player screen here, is your champion for Tekken 8 for Token Throwdown March 2025. Yeah, good run from Chicken Wing though. Had a very strong showing. Had really good matches against Sol Naciente there.
What do you like most about the community?
The community is very open to helping each other. We're very open to trying new things, trying new games, getting other people to play other games. I dipped my toe into Street Fighter 6 for a little bit. I played Street Fighter in the past, but kind of decided that it wasn't really the game for me. That's why I completely went into Tekken. But just having people that are open to showing you things in a new game that you've never played before and being enthusiastic to show you and bring you on that journey in that game is really inspiring. Knowing that we have a community that wants to help people learn and grow is, I think, a hallmark and a keystone for any community out there, and Knoxville definitely has that.
What I like about the community here is just the togetherness. People here love to talk and play and see how they get better. We're very welcoming to one another, and we encourage others to go to other events and support, get that experience. So it's a very wholesome, great environment.
Personally, I like how close-knit everybody is, because the TO team is like me, Genie, and John, Risky Sweet, and like our trio, and like we have other helpers as well, but it's like us mainly as a close-knit trio. We know pretty much everybody by face, everybody by name, like first name and by tag, which is rare sometimes, which is crazy. But I love how close-knit everybody is, because it actually feels like a community here, rather than a lot of places where you just roll up and you're like, hey, let's run Street Fighter.
I think it just means a lot that so many people have been into the vision, you know. Not that I think we're doing anything super out of the box or like out of the ordinary. Like, we're running a fighting game tournament, right? There are tons of those all over. But I think it's really validating, and it feels great that we're able to run our show the way that we do it. And when we do hear feedback, it is usually that they had a great time and they're telling their friends about it, they tell their coworkers about it, and they're just so welcoming and inviting to other people, right? I love the fact that like we have given them a space. We try to make it as affordable and as accessible as possible. This is the only thing we charge for. All of our locals we do totally for free. We provide all the gear, and we do that not to like one up any other locals, but just because here, you know, we are willing to provide that space, right? Something that I like to speak on a lot as far as locals go is the concept of third places. Have you ever heard of that before?
I haven't. Educate me.
So third places, essentially your first and your second place are your home, where you live and where you reside and where you can cultivate yourself and your family or whatever. Your second place is your work, your career, where you find your passion and where you are productive. And then your third place has to be somewhere else, somewhere that isn't where you sleep at night, isn't where you work professionally, but it's somewhere where you can cultivate yourself culturally and spiritually and mentally and be with a community, right? It's kind of like this extra, I think, like pillar of humanity, connecting with other people, right? And we don't have those third places anymore because arcades aren't really a thing. And even a venue like this, as much as I love Token and card shops and video game stores, you have to pay to get in, right? And you also have to drive there because we're just a very car-centric society. So like the more barriers that we can break down to help you interact with people that love the stuff that you love, that's awesome.
A fighting game scene with a passion for every type of game and all the amaretto sours you could ask for. Token Game Tavern has got to be on your FGC bucket list.
And anything you want to shout out, just go ahead and lay it all on the table.
Sounds great. Well, again, my tag is GD. You can find me personally on Twitter at GDCade, like an arcade, so GDCade. Otherwise, I care more about all of us and all of this, so this is all ScruffyCityFGC. You can find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Twitch, Facebook, all that stuff. Check out our events if you happen to be in the Knoxville, Tennessee area. Also, make sure you check out Music City FGC and Area 256, that's Nashville and Chattanooga here in Tennessee as well. You can just go to TENNFGC.com to see all of our state scenes and their locals going on.
Well, again, my name is Styx. My tag is SBS. As far as upcoming events, we'll be at Ballland. And personally, I'm going down to max mode, so if you see me, say hey.
I'm Risky Swede. You can find me on Twitter or Blue Sky, either JOHANNHAT, Johan Hat. You probably see me commentating most of your favorite live events in the U.S. We have the Token Throwdown happening here. We have Knoxville. We haven't decided a date for the next one yet, so we're working on that at the moment. We have that happening once a year in Knoxville as well. So come out, look up Scruffy City FGC, you'll find us there.
If you see me, my name on Start GG, it is Twin Turbo. It's a name that me and my dad came up with many years ago. He's a car guy. I used to have a twin turbo, like a Nissan 300ZX. That's the lore behind it.
Okay.
So it's a cool name. It stands out. It's amazing. I am on Facebook. And first name is it's Adrian, so you'll see that. But mostly Twin Turbo and Start GG. That's where you'll see me. I'll be around. I'll be probably on Instagram eventually, but that's where I'm at for now.
Well, I'm Kenobi_TK on Twitter X. I don't post that much, but you can still follow me. I will be going to Max Mode in April, and then I'll be going to Combo Breaker and perhaps CEO as well.
Awesome. Well, I'll probably see you at max mode and see you.
Yeah, I would just encourage everybody to come check out Token and the Knoxville fighting game scene sometime. Check out my game on itch. It's Slam Bam Arena on itch, or Slam Donkey on itch.
Okay, so on Twitter I am at ZombieGuts13. On Twitch, just ZombieGuts13. And my next big event I'm traveling out for is Max Mode in Atlanta. That'll be April 25th or 27th.
Sounds good. I'll see you in Atlanta. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Of course. Thank you so much, Twin Turbo.
Thanks so much, Ricky.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. I'll see you there.
Yeah. Thanks so much.